You and I think Paige is out right now, a co-host. Okay, you are. Never mind. Okay, so it's welcome to the Monday Actives Testimonial call. I am super excited to introduce the young lady that I actually talked to the first time one on one just last week. She has a phenomenal story, um, and I actually had Google up in front of me because I was going to try to pronounce what she's going to talk about tonight, but she has a story. I'll let Jody do that because I would just try to destroy. I would just destroy it trying to do it from memory. But anyway, I'm just super excited to hear her story. I heard it for the first time last week. It's a phenomenal story about Jody and her journey and our trifecta. And I know you guys are just going to be blown away. And I told her that she gets the full 15 minutes or whatever's time left because I want her to be able to tell her whole story. So it's just something that everybody needs to hear. So, Jody, welcome to the call. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and sharing your story. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So,
Mhm.
my name's Jody Smith, and I got into actives because of my sister Julia Prather and our best friend Sherry Thoman. And so, a little bit about me. I have dysautonomia, and my form of dysautonomia is called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, aka POTS. And first time I heard that, I said, Desauto, what? And I don't smoke that. So I was completely confused. I had no idea what was happening, but it's basically very long, crazy, scary word to basically say that my involuntary nervous system malfunctions. And the major symptom that I have for that is tachycardia. So my heart beats really fast when I'm sitting or when I'm standing up, walking, anything like that. So if I'm standing up, it's like my heart's running a marathon. So I get very fatigued. They liken the fatigue unto somebody that has heart failure or COPD. And so there's an amazing amount of symptoms that go along with that. Um, I have syncope, which is fancy for saying I pass out and lose consciousness. Um, and I'm a very rare potsy, is what they call us. So I'm a very rare potsy that I lose complete motor function and I lose speech. So my speech becomes slurred, I stutter really badly, and I struggle to get the words out. Um, and coming from somebody who's from Michigan and used to talk super fast and never take a breath, that was definitely a different thing for me. I would that was a difficult one. But I lose the use of my legs, my hands and my arms become very clumsy. Um, and I have a hard time doing, the smallest of tasks. I generally can't text or even hold a cup, things like that. And I get that whether or not I fully pass out or I just come close. So other symptoms that I get are severe vertigo, um, with nausea, migraines. I get what's called blood pooling. So when I'm sitting down, um, my blood just sits in my legs and in my feet from my knee down, and it doesn't come back up. And so that causes me to have the same symptoms as if I were to pass out because I don't get enough oxygen to my brain. So that's a lot of fun. And then I usually can't feel from my knees down. Um, let's see. There's There are so many fun and wonderful symptoms. I get what's called adrenaline dumps. Um, and those are interesting because you'll just see me shake out of nowhere. It's a really weird thing. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just very weird. I have small fiber neuropathy. I also have arthritis and a lot of wonderful pain that comes from that. So in the summertime, the heat kills me, and in the wintertime, the cold just causes me pain. lots of pain. So I went from originally starting out to having 10 to 15, they call them episodes, of where I either lose full consciousness or come close to and lose the speech and the um, motor function. So I went from having 10 to 15 of those in a day to having a couple episodes a day just by increasing my salt intake. Well, once being introduced to nerve 2 activation, I went from that to having a couple a week. Um, and then since I've been on the trifecta, I've gone from having them a couple times a week to then it went to a couple times a month. And I had a really bad day today, which was odd because it's the first time that I've had a bad day. And then I ended up having an episode, um, which was my first episode in over 5 months, which is huge. So for most people, this you become bedridden because the dizziness is so bad and you just feel so sick that you can't get out of bed. And then when you do, your heart's so fast and you fatigue so quickly that you lose such energy to be able to walk. And so most people have to have a wheelchair or a walker, but a traditional walker doesn't work for me. Even one of those rollator walkers doesn't work for me because I just don't become unsteady. I completely lose the use of my legs. And so, I mean, they become like jello and I'm going down. So, the trifecta has been amazing because with all of this as well, so the dysautonomia controls all of your internal organs. So just my POTS part of it has been incredibly better, but then I also have IBS. I create kidney stones. Um, and I also get what they call oh, I can't think of the technical term for it, but basically immotility in my intestines, which is another wonderful thing. Um, and so because I am on the trifecta, the link has helped me by leaps and bounds. I went from having to have um, being told basically I had precancerous polyps that they had taken, and my last checkup, they were like, "Girl, you're clear. There's nothing there. You're doing well. I don't have near the bowel problems. I am pretty regular. I don't get the pain and the stomach cramping that I used to get thanks to the link. The abdomen greatly helps with my arthritic pain, and I also have a pancreas that doesn't like to work or function properly because of all things encompassed of the dysautonomia. And because I take the abdomen, I don't have the pain that I had. And the nerve 2 helps so much. So the genomics helps so much with my um, my thoughts process. I still lose words every now and again, but it is not anything like it was. I can think clearly. I can remember things, which is phenomenal. Still have to have my calendar though, but um, so many benefits from this trifecta, and because of the link, I no longer have to take digestive enzymes. And I was told, so my condition is said to be irreversible. There is no cure. They can only give you medications that basically put a band-aid on your symptoms. And I was at a point where the medications were not even helping my symptoms. They would help me for a little bit, and then it would cause the opposite problem. So if they gave me medicine to control my heart rate, it brought me too low, which caused me the same problems. If they gave me blood pressure medication to increase my blood pressure, it made it too high at points and it gave me the same problem. And so nothing worked. The only thing that has worked and kept me from being bedridden and being able to be a mom of the 3 children that I still have at home, I have 5. I have 5 kids. I have a son that's 24, a daughter that's 22. They're both married. My 22-year-old daughter is expecting our first grandbaby. I have my senior is going to be 18 in 6 days. And I have a junior in high school and I have a 3.5-year-old. So I'm busy. And I would have no life and would not be able to enjoy them if it were not for actives, if it was not for the trifecta working together to help me have quality of life with my babies. I would not be in as good of a place as I am today. I'm very grateful. I'm able to do the things that I need to do, and of course, like I said, I still have bad days. It still happens. There's no way to completely stop it, but to be able to go from having them um, several times a week to being able to go several months without having an episode in my book is the greatest gift I've ever been given besides my babies. So I um I love what Actives has done for me. I'm grateful, and I was told I'd have to, be on medications for the rest of my life, that I would be bedridden. I am disabled. I'm on disability, and I hope that with continued taking of this that I can get off of the disability. And so that's my hope. And I was told by doctors that I will have to be on digestive enzymes for the rest of my life because of the way that my intestines and my pancreas don't like to work together. And I'm not on them. I don't take them because the trifecta and the link has just really helped me and helped my body to be able to function like normal. And it has really minimalized the effects of my dysautonomia. So I'm incredibly grateful.
Wow. That's the second time I've heard that story and it just blows me away, Jody. Thank you very much. You're a very strong person for getting on here and sharing all that with us. As I know we're really close to time, I just want to take a minute and say, before the call, I was looking over some testimonies, even some that have been around for quite a while. And I think sometimes, one thing that's hit me really hard recently, and sometimes we sit here and we say why we have to figure our why out. And I think when you hear stories like Jody's, and you hear stories like other people I see on the call that are going to be on the call in the near future, um, um, when you hear stories like that, to me, that's really, really a part of why. Because if it wasn't for everybody here playing their part and playing their role, Jody wouldn't have what she has today. That very likely never would have reached her to give her the life that she has today with her kids. So for me, that's really becoming part of my why. And I think we all have a story in some way is just as powerful to somebody else we haven't met yet that we can share. So thank you very much, Jody. You're awesome. I really look forward to working with you more and more in the future, and your sister too.
Thank
Um,
you.
but I really look forward to working more with you in the future. You're awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for the
Thank you
opportunity.
everybody for joining. Yep. And everybody have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jody.
Yep.
Thanks.